Welcome back to part 2 of the feed mill for my friend Kevin. This video is brought to you by a whole bunch of people who, helped me get out of my funk and bring back my inspiration to build models again and to make these videos again for everybody out there. I don't make these videos to get famous or to spread my name because I'm kind of a shy and private person. What I do these videos for is to share the tips and tricks that I do to build these videos, because I have been a custom builder for a long time. I started building for a modeling company when I first got into model railroading. The story can be seen in various other videos. However, I learned how to build models without instructions, and often made the photographs and the rough outline for instructions for a modeling company out there. A lot of you know their name, but they don't really use me for anything anymore. So my name's Ron Perry, and this is just another Scale Modeler channel. And if you want to support this channel and see more of this stuff, once again, I'm not doing this to make money or to get famous. I do this to help raise my son and share tips about model railroading, because I don't keep anything secret. I don't have any secret tips that I keep to myself. I think that these things should all be shared, and I'm not in competition with anybody, so I like to share everything that I do. In each and every video that you find, you should find something new, as I'm often, flying, by the seat of my pants, and, I come to solutions very quickly because I've been building these models for a long, long time. I built layouts and all kinds of stuff over the last, 15 years maybe. I haven't done the math yet. 2007. Go ahead, do the math. However, if you want to support these videos, it would be greatly appreciated to go over to patreon.com/Ron Perry, P-A-R-E, because YouTube does not give me any money anymore. They demonetized my channel because I took a break. It's pretty crazy because they've been showing my videos off by the tens of thousands of views over the last 3 years, and I haven't gotten a dime for it because I don't make new videos. So here we go, making new videos. I hope you like the rest of Hitzeman Feedmill by American Model Builders, Laser Kit by American Model Builders. I'm hoping to get the rest of this video in this last part. I don't like to make part videos, but then again, my viewers, I don't like to watch a 2-hour video, so I have to break these videos up in parts to make it consumable by you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you are interested in anything that happens in this video, please press the like button, subscribe, do all the things, because YouTube don't give anybody anything anymore. You gotta fight, and you gotta ask your viewers to do things for you, which is I don't like doing that. I think it's a bull crap thing, way to do things. So, but here we go. And Hitzeman's Feedmill Part 2. Hopefully the last part in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Please watch to the end of the video. Bye. So let's get into Kevin's Feedmill Part 2. I start off by painting the trim. Now, the trim's got to be a color that is a corresponding color that is contrasting to the main color of the building. If I painted the trim the same color as the building, it would kind of look dull and have less pop. Even though this is an old building that is, been years since it's been painted, the painting's been cracked and stuff like that, we still want it to have a little bit of character and not to be dull. Moving on from there, I start painting the roofing panels. And one of the worst things that you can have is that you put a piece of modeling part onto your model, and under the overhang is unpainted or something like that. Something's, sticks out like a sore thumb. You have an old building, and then all of a sudden underneath the overhang you see a nice new piece of wood. Well, that takes away the magic of the model. And what I want to do is fix that by adding some dark gray. Moving on from there, we start painting the docks. I use a light gray to make the dock wood look old, and I just keep it that way because later, after the model's been put together, I might decide to put another color on there or something like that, but I just want it to look old. I don't use my homemade wood weathering that I used before because there's a lot of water in that, and these wood parts are really small pieces of bass or pine, or it's a soft wood, as soft as you can get, and the second we add that water to that wood, it's gonna bend out of whack. So number one, I want to paint these parts in the sprue, in the parts sheet, so that it will keep the parts together and they won't grow out of control. Next, I start painting the foundation gray. I keep on hitting it with different colors until I get to a color that looks like concrete or weathered concrete. Like I said in the previous video, my modeling supplies have been depleted. I just found out a lot of the stuff that I had was just thrown out because the boxes that they were in had mold on them. Crazy, I don't know why, let's not get into that, because I could go on a tangent there, and we don't want to keep the negativity down to a minimum here. It's sad. I feel a lot of sadness for losing all of my modeling tools and parts and stuff like that, but we're rebuilding, and that's why we have the Patreon. That's why I'm promoting it so much. And thank you to everybody who's supported the channel so far. So we're starting with gray. I'm trying to mix this gray with various colors to get to a concrete color. I add yellow to it. And in the long run, at the end of the video, I just want to come back and say it here, is what I used was something that you might not think. I had a very light gray, the lightest gray that I could use, and I added raw umber, the really dark brown brown color. Not raw sienna, which is more of a reddish brown. The raw umber, which is the crap color. It really does look like a nice piece of shit. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. But but it really did get to color that I thought started to look like aged concrete. So that was light gray, some yellow, which I don't think is necessary, but the raw umber really helped that color to come around and look like concrete, because it doesn't look gray. It looks like it's got a little yellowish flavor, a warm flavor to it, and that raw umber really lightened up, was really lightened up by the light gray, and really got me to a point where I started thinking, yeah, this is starting to look like aged concrete. In time I'll get to a real nice recipe for making aged concrete. I'm kind of starting all over again, so like last time I had a bottle of aged concrete and I didn't have to worry about it. So just keep on going around, either painting the trim parts light gray. For the doors and windows, I paint the trim white. Now, I painted these trim colors white because looking at our reference photos, we can see that we've got a bunch of different examples of feed mills, and in this video I add a few more photographs that I found on the web, and talked to the client to really get to the nitty-gritty of what we wanted our finished diorama to look like. Of course, it's not a diorama that the client wants. He's going to be putting it on a layout, but me as the custom model builder, I really like to put this model together artistically. I like to take a photograph and copy certain parts of one photograph and use another photograph, parts from another photograph, and make an entire scene. And I don't just send the model sometimes to a client. Like if the client's lowballing me and paying me as little as possible, or he's not a friend, he's sometimes the client is just trying to use your skills for as cheap as possible. I wouldn't do all these things, but some clients are good friends. Some of them are see the skill and effort that is put into the model, and they are they're real keen to pay for the extra time and effort that I put into these models, because this isn't a full-time job for me. This is something that is it's passion that's put out. I build these models and I don't slap it together and whip it out like a full-time custom builder might. I really take my time on all these models and build it like I was building it for my own layout. Kevin's a real cool guy, and he really looks out for me and, gives me a call and asks me how I'm doing and does stuff like that. And, I really want to go that extra mile for Kevin. And, so I'm going to build, the extra parts for this diorama. So I have some MDF board from Home Depot. I think it's, it's a little bit bigger than 1/8. Maybe it's not really a 1/4 inch, maybe it's 3/16, I don't know, but it's a good baseboard for a diorama. And I'm going to make a few silos. I'm going to make some auger tubes for the feed to move around the mill. I'm going to make a grate for the trucks to come and drop the feed into the grate to get onto the conveyor belt that gets to the auger or the elevator and goes through this, because these feed mills, we don't have men walking around with wheelbarrows taking the feed and putting it everywhere. It's transported by a series of belts and elevators and auger tubes, each one doing a different purpose. The belt will take the feed horizontally from one end of the mill to the other side of the mill. The elevator will take the feed and bring it up to the top of the silo and drop it down either an auger tube or just a plain gravity-fed tube that goes into the silo. And these augers are often used to go up not straight up inclines, but a 45-degree incline, or into various things. And also auger tubes are really good for measuring the amounts of product going into the various different implements of the feed mill, whether that be a mixing drum or the bagging room, or a hopper here or a hopper there kind of thing. These are things that I'm just learning right now working in a fertilizer mill, which is much like a feed mill. So I'm going this extra mile for my client, and there goes another tangent. Let's get back to the models. Where was I? Next we have I don't know what this part of the building's called, but it's the top house where all the down pipes get divided into the various parts of the mill where they go, whether that be to the mixing drum or to a bagger or a tote, and what is it called? Whatever. I work at these places. I still don't know what it is yet. I'm sorry. However, the top room there, Crow's Peak, maybe? I don't know. I started it by painting it gray and putting our red color over top of it. I painted it gray as opposed to adding my homemade stain once again, because this part of the building would have been painted maybe once, maybe even like less than once, like less than once. It would have been done never. But it wasn't, people don't go up there, so it would have been done once and never done again unless they had a professional do it, and these mills don't spend money like that. So after that, we got to painting our rolled roofing. I used charcoal gray, a dark colored gray for this, and just painted it pretty standard. Gave it a good coat, because after the fact, at the very end of the modeling, I'm going to add some weathering. As I often say, when you're painting these parts of your model, paint horizontally, because well, not in the case of this rolled roofing, but on the siding of the building, you paint horizontally so that that's the way people paint. Is from one side of the board to the other side of the board, and the weathering goes up and down from rain. After that, I move over to my window trim parts and start cutting them out with the razor blade. They've been painted white, as said before, and the doors were painted our red color. I used a little bit of a more orangey red color, just because those doors would look a little bit different. Maybe they would have had a couple of coats of paint. And also, I didn't have the weathered gray behind it, so they did come out with a little bit more of a pop. So once we cut out our window pieces, these are nicely made window pieces, laser cut with two-sided tape on the back. Two-sided tape, I'm torn on the subject. Two-sided tape, I believe, after time it probably comes off. And I have to look back at some of my models to see which ones have two-sided paint on them to see if the parts are coming off. I should check that. Maybe I'll check that in the future and make a video in and of itself about two-sided tape. On one hand, it works great for putting these windows together. This kit came with laser cut acetate, the window part, so the two-sided tape works great for sticking to the acetate, and that's put those in. Our crow's peak, or top of the building, I took the pieces after they were cured, dried, and squared them up, put two pieces together and made L's, two parts. Took the four parts and made it into two parts. Used my homemade square to square them up, and glued them together so that they would dry up over the night, and I could put the other two pieces together later. Next, we tossed on our roofing panels. I cleaned up the edges where the panels were getting in, and cleaned off the excess glue with my knife. I often like to use brush with a lot of water just to get the excess glue off, because it loosens the glue up. It mixes with the glue so that it turns into a watery substance, and I can wipe it away with a dry brush in the same stroke as it be. The slot and tab design of this kit really goes a long way to making it really easy kit to go together, and that is included in these roof portions. Put the glue on around the sides and just stick it in the slot, and they're perfectly aligned. No taping it to the model, which some other model you actually do have to do that kind of thing. You got to tape the pieces to the model, and sometimes they come out crooked. You don't really notice till the end after you look in underneath the soffit, and you see one side's about 1/8 of an inch, and the other side's about 3/16 of an inch, and you're like, crap. And the glue's already dried. But this tab and slot design works great, and I love it. When I start designing my own kits, hint hint, coming in the future, I'll be doing this kind of thing for sure. Moving on from there, letting the glue dry on the roof portions, we take our ruler out and our calipers. And what I'm doing here is making a measurement for, I believe it's a 16-foot length of rolled roofing, but it could be a 4-foot length, or no, an 8-foot length. I think it's possibly an 8-foot length that I make the rolled roofing in. There's, when you put this roofing on the structure, you want to have overlaps where you put your rolled roofing so that it looks realistic. You don't want to have just like the roofing go from one side to the other side in every layer. However, one of the things that happens when you paint one side of a piece of paper, what happens is it makes that side of the paper smaller, and the other side is longer, so it curls right up. And there's no real easy way to fix that other than, putting it down on a flat surface and weighing it down for a good long time. But at this point, I really didn't have a good long time. So what I did was, just tried to make do with my ruler. And I think I rushed a little bit too much, using a razor blade and all that stuff. Every now and then, yeah, how can I say this? Every now and then, you fuck it up. And, this happens. Fuck. Beep. Beep. Well, that kind of sucked. 4 days later, it looked like this. But you know what? Just put a little bit of polysporin on there, throw a Band-Aid on, and move on. Because that's what this is all about. Sometimes you screw up. Sometimes you learn your lesson and move to a pair of scissors because it was dumb to use this razor blade. I can be a dummy sometimes. So after the shock of cutting my finger, it wasn't too bad, but the shock of the moment got me pretty good. So looked like a little bit of a puss for a second. Wife and son kind of laughed at me while I was running around swearing, and I wasn't gonna get any help from them, that's for sure. So, first layer of rolled roofing, I always put a full layer on. Like I said before, you don't want to have a full stretch right across, but I like to start it off clean. So that's what I do. I do all 4 sides, and quickly get the roof done with that 2-sided tape. And 2-sided tape can really come in handy. It's nice to have that. It's also called carpet tape at the hardware stores and Walmart and Home Depot and all that jazz. So you might have noticed that I found a couple of tools in my carry-all toolbox that I made a long time ago as a tin whacker. I found one of my brass bar clamps and my calipers, which are a little rusty. It takes a little bit to get those buggers moving. Gonna have to grease them up a little bit. However, I went and took the crow's peak and glued that together and put that to the side so it could cure up while I got to moving along with our doors and door frames and all that stuff. No fear, get back to that razor. After putting the doors on, though, I don't see the point of you taking the sticky part off the back of the doors. There's nothing to stick to, really. There's a hole in the wall. If you know what I mean. Whatever. I guess you could put some kind of stick in the back and use the sticky tape to show an open door, but I'm going to keep everything closed because I don't want to show the inside of this. I would add a lot of extra work to the job, and we don't want to put some extra cost on the kit for the client, if you know what I mean. So we just mucked around getting these together, and that gets me to pretty much the 30-minute mark on this video. So I think let's add a little bit of glue to the back of these doors so to make sure that they don't fall in. They don't really have nothing to stick to, like I said, so might as well make sure that they stay there for a lifetime. Anyways, if you like this video, I'd sure appreciate it if you liked it, subscribed, press that button that says notify me of all the videos. If you get your videos on mobile, add the notifications in the Google settings. Or, send us a little tip on Patreon. It's a once a month kind of thing with $1, $5, $10. I used to have a buddy, Michael Paul Smith, used to give me $25 a video. Jeepers creepers, he was a great guy. Rest in peace, buddy. Well, talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, my friends. See you next time.